Hello, 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 beautiful people. I hope all is well. So if you have been watching my stories at all, you may know that I am not in the country at this time. I am visiting the beautiful country island of Jamaica with my amazing husband. But yesterday I wrote a caption that I shouldn't have written, and now I'm being held accountable to it. So yesterday I wrote a caption, and in the caption I said that I was going to come on tomorrow, which is now today, and I was going to talk about manifestation. So manifestation and mindset is something that I have been doing a lot of research on. It's something that I've been watching lots of videos on, following people on social media, listening to TED Talks, things of that nature. And so it's really touched me, especially in the last, 10 months or so. And so I said, I need to speak about this because I think that is something that's missing in a lot of people's life, is manifesting what you want and knowing how to manifest what you want. Now, I'm sure many of you are thinking like, and I'm going to curse, and I apologize in advance to my good old religious people, that manifestation is some bullshit, right? Y'all think it's just something that people say in order to explain away their good luck. It's something that people say for shits and giggles. It's just something that's a conversation piece, but it definitely is not. And so since I said, even though I very stupidly said this in my caption yesterday, that I was going to come on here and I was going to be live and I was going to speak about it today, since I said it and I am a woman of my word, I am here. So first, I need to welcome those who have taken time out on this Saturday evening to even join me. Thank you, Nadine. Welcome. Joseph Kemp, amazing coach. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Unique, bonjour. Letitia Page, always representing. Thank you for joining. Vanna's daddy. Hi, Vanna's daddy. How are you? I hope Vanna's well. Thank you, Crystal, for joining. Thank you, Tony, for joining. Claudia, I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Claudia, thank you for joining. Brooklyn Butterfly, thank you. Polona's always showing love. Thank you so much. And Love Des, thank you so much for joining. So if you are just joining, my name is Alison from Align with Alison. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with women to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I have a master's degree in, I forgot what I have a master's degree in counseling. And then I have a master's degree extension in mental health counseling, as well as being a certified life coach. And so in my own personal journey and in my journey in becoming a life coach, I have done a lot of research. I've had a lot of conversations. I've read books. I've done YouTube. I follow people online trying to learn about this manifestation thing and the abundance mindset. You hear like these cute little videos, like they'll have video clips of Jay-Z talking about manifestation in some form or fashion, even if he doesn't use that word per se. I've posted a story yesterday of a comedian, I forgot his name, Jim Carrey, talking about manifestation. And so that's why I'm coming on here. My lighting is not all that great today, so you're going to forgive me, and it's okay because I'm on vacation. But I'm still here to represent for y'all. So we're going to work with this, and I hope that this connection is solid, because please let me know if you can hear me, and please let me know if you guys are out there. Okay, I see people saying hi, so that's good. Hi, Pisces. Hi, Whitney. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So one of the things that I did not have an appreciation for or understand at all was manifestation. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. My parents are from the Caribbean, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so culturally, what I've been taught is you get up, you work hard, then you reap the benefits, and that's just the end of that, right? Like if you work hard enough, you will be successful. That's also part of American culture, right? Like this idea of picking yourself up from your bootstraps or whatever the terminology is, right? And you will be successful once you work hard enough. Once you do well in school and you hold off on getting pregnant, then you will find success, right? And even if you do, quote unquote, mess up, then you need to grind and figure it out in order to be successful. And I thought that was good enough. And it's been relatively good enough for me, right? But I've also had a lot of other wins, right? So one of those wins is the fact that, and I didn't think it was a win when I was a kid. One of the wins that I had was that when I was in middle school, PSIS 308 in Bed-Stuy, it's a gifted and talented school, a magnet school. I applied for high school, right? So if anybody is from New York, you remember, you apply for high school in the beginning of 8th grade, and then towards the spring of 8th grade is when you get your results. Unfortunately, in New York City, the way that high schools are selected for the most part, and others can say different, but I'm going to stand by what I stand by, it is a lottery system. So your name, and I imagine like my name is thrown into like a thingy and then it spins, right? And then they pick it out of a silver basket. I'm sure it's computerized, but you get the point. It was a lottery. And so even though I was an amazing student, hardworking, very intelligent, and this was back in 2000 before it wasn't a thing for you to take Regents exams. Those in New York know what I'm talking about. It wasn't a thing for you to take Regents exams in junior high school. So I was leaving 8th grade with earth science, Spanish, algebra, in essence, I was an excellent student, right? Now, when I was in 8th grade and I applied for high school, I applied for the schools that I wanted to go to. At the time, I wanted to be a journalist, right? So I really wanted to go to Edward R. Murrow High School in Brooklyn. I did not get in. I did not get into any of the schools that I applied for. And I think I applied for 12 because I know that the application maxes out at 12. I didn't get into one of the schools that I applied to. So at the time in New York City, if you are an 8th grader and you apply for high school, and you don't get into any of the schools that you wish to, then you end up going to your zoned school. So the zoned high school that I went to was Boys and Girls High School on Fulton Street in Bed-Stuy. I ended up going to my zoned school. In essence, for lack of a better term, it's the rejection school. I didn't get into anything else. And so this is where all of the leftovers are dumped, right? In that moment, I was devastated. A lot of my friends were going to prestigious high schools. A lot of them were going to schools like Brooklyn Tech and things of the sort. And I do apologize for anybody who's not from New York. You may not have an appreciation for this part of the live. But for those who did and live and know New York, you know what I'm talking about. So they're going to all these prestigious schools, and I'm here stuck going to, in my mind, bum-ass Boys and Girls High School, right? I mean, look at the name, Boys and Girls. It does not sound very illustrious, right? So I go to Boys and Girls, and once I entered, there were 4,500 students not in my class, but out of when I entered in September 2000, right? I think that makes sense. There were 4,500 kids that are entering to the school. Huge school, right? And I thought I would get lost in the sauce. I knew that I would be okay, but my fear was I just wasn't gonna get any kind of challenge. This is not gonna look good for me in regards to colleges because I'm going to what I saw as the reject school. However, let me tell you something about Boys and Girls High School. Okay? Now, not only was the culture unlike any culture I can imagine at any other school, a culture of success. I don't know how the principal at the time, Frank Mickens, God rest his soul, was able to cultivate this culture and foster this environment. But he was able to convince hood kids from Brooklyn, right, that if you fell behind, you were a loser and no one should talk to you. He was able to establish where we look side-eye at anyone who cut class, who got into fights, who got in trouble. You were a loser and you were beneath us. That's the kind of environment he was able to foster, right? So I felt safe. I felt included. He knew my name out of 4,500 kids, and I was a good kid, so there was no reason to know my name. He knew my name. The teachers appreciated me. They complimented me. They let me know that I was valuable. They told me that I was intelligent. They are the ones who built the self-esteem that I have today. They are the ones who built the self-esteem that I have today. Okay? Not mommy and not daddy, because they're classic West Indian parents. You here? I'm glad. You did what you're supposed to do. Congrats. You don't get any kudos. Right? Y'all with me? So, I got some boys and girls people on here right now. Hi, Reckless and Rich. I'm talking about the high. So, this is what built this ideology in my head that, I am smart. I am valuable, and whatever I want, I can get. This is where I got this idea from. I didn't get this idea from home. And it's not that my parents did a poor job. I just didn't get this idea from home. It was, you come home, you change your clothes, you have a snack, you do your homework. If my sisters are on this live, they know that's what daddy said every day. Change your clothes, have a snack, do your homework. That's it, right? There's no, and you're amazing and you can be anything that you want to be. And that's okay. because thank God that I ended up going to a school that was quote unquote a low performer. So from their perspective, I was like a gem. I was a star, and they treated me as such. Y'all with me so far, right? Right. I hope the service is good here, y'all. If you're just joining, I'm on vacation. I'm in Jamaica, but I promised that I was going to come on here and talk about manifestation. I'll be doing so today. I'm really going to try tomorrow, and I'm really going to try the next day. I want to do 3 days, okay? But don't hold me to it. But for sure, I'm doing it today because I'm here, okay? Good. So they're the ones who gave me this belief that I actually have the ability to do anything. Boys and Girls High School, because again, me going there and being so highly intelligent in comparison to my counterparts, no disrespect to anybody who's on the live, made me feel like I could do anything. Like, what you mean? Like, Alison is the shit, because all the teachers treated me like I was the shit. I was the one who went to the main office to get the attendance sheets. I was the one who dropped from classroom to classroom to send letters between teachers who are gossiping. I was the one who went to make copies. I was the class president for a minute. Then there was some drama, but we ain't talking about that right now. Point is that they're the ones who built in me that I was everything and nobody could tell me nothing. They're the ones, and I love them for it, right? Okay, cool. So I'm confident. I know that I want to be a teacher. I go to college. I'm going to skip all this. I'm going to go real fast. I go to college. I do undergrad as in education. I become a teacher. I realize I'm not pleased. So I go back to school to become a counselor. Did that, went back to school. Well, I kind of just continued because I didn't want to take a break. I did the master's extension in mental health counseling because that's where my interest began to grow in the mental health space. And then I'm off, right? Like, that's it. Like, I think I was 25 when I graduated with my master's degree. I'm working and everything is all good, right? From there, I started listening to this podcast, and the podcast is called EYL, Earn Your Leisure. I tell this story to anybody who will listen. I love this podcast. Okay. I love the gentlemen. They're like my brothers in my head. They don't know me, but I know them. I know their wives. I know their kids. I love these guys, right? The host of the show. And they're the ones who started to put in my mind that, like, whatever anyone wants, they can get once they know what they want. They get the things that are in their way out of the way, and they work towards it. They're the ones who implemented, they're the ones who set this seed. So how did they do it? They had a series. They did 10 episodes in a row on this podcast, right? Earn Your Leisure. And they interviewed people from across the country. Oh no, someone says I'm frozen. Am I back? I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to hope for the best, okay? So these gentlemen interviewed some guys, about 10 people, guys and women too. And they spoke about their business. These people didn't necessarily have formal education. Some of these people, I'm good. Some of these people didn't have formal education. Some of these people went to prison. Some of them were felons, and they found a way to make a way as Black people in this country. They found a way to perhaps, I'm telling you, hustles I never even heard of before. There was someone who did trucking and vending machines. Have you ever thought about buying a vending machine and the money that you can make off of vending machines? These guys interviewed folks from across the country who you would think under normal circumstances, because they weren't formally educated like how many of us are, did not have the same opportunities, the same support, ended up in prison, and they're making buku dollars, making so much more money than me with my formal education and all of my student loans could ever make. So this is where I got the idea, if these people can figure it out, I'm not saying these people, not these people, but human beings, right? They probably have less opportunity than me. If they have figured out where their passion is and how they can make money, and then how they can solidify a legacy for themselves and their family, then I am sure that I can figure it out too, right? But that wasn't the first time. Let me take a step back. It wasn't EYOs the first time. The first time it really dawned on me, it was organic. It was in my mind. I was 21, and I was looking out the window of my mom's house. I was living there at the time. I was 21. And she lives off of Linden Boulevard in Brooklyn, which is not a major highway, but it's a highway for Brooklyn, New York, right? Major road. And I'm like, damn, I really want to learn how to drive. Taking cabs. We used to call cabs. It wasn't an Uber. Taking cabs was it was whack. It was expensive. It was inconvenient. You would call. They say, call back in 5 minutes. I got to go. I ain't got time. I'm going to be late for work. This was not the wave, right? So I'm like, damn, I really wish I had a license. I need to learn how to drive, but I'm afraid to drive. So I'm looking out my mom's window and I'm looking at all these people driving up and down Linden Boulevard in Brooklyn. And I said to myself, and I mean no disrespect to anybody who's on this, right? So I'm gonna mute myself a little bit. I said, if these regular can figure out how to turn a wheel and switch gears and parallel park and U-turn and everything else, if they can figure it out, why can't I figure it out? If all of these regular ass can figure out how to drive, why can't I figure out how to drive? What do they have over me that they can figure it out and I can't figure it out? So immediately I think I was working at Verizon at the time. I took my little Verizon check. I paid for the biggest, most expensive driving lesson package. I took lessons like 3 times a week versus the once a week, so it can really stick in my mind. I took my road test and I passed it the first time. That was the first time that I said, if they can do it, I can do it. Whoever they is, if they can do it, I can do it. So that was the first time. Then it was when I was listening to Earn Your Leisure EYL. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it too, whatever it may be. And that is what I'm getting to with this live stream with y'all. Whatever your it is, why is it that they can figure it out and you can't? What is it that they have that you don't have? Tell me. I really want to know. Tell me what your dreams are. Put it in the comments. Tell me what your desires are. Put it in the comments and tell me why you are not able or capable or intelligent enough or worthy enough to get whatever the hell it is that you want. So if it's love, if it's relationships, if it's a business, if it's your education, if it's weight loss, if it's a salary, if it's a real estate portfolio, tell me why you can't do it. Tell me why. And I bet you money for the most part, it's because you believe that you can't do it. Most of us are able-bodied. Most of us are capable, right? Of course, there's some folks who really legitimately are not capable. Most of us are capable to achieve what we want. The question is a couple of things. So, number one, the first thing is, I see some comments, are we talking about love and relationships? It could be anything. Because you need help. What help do you need? Who have you reached out to? What research have you done in order to try to achieve this on your own or the assistance of others? Lyle says, sometimes I'm my own worst critic. I'm afraid of failure. Yes, a lot of it has to do with us not believing. And that literally will be the number one thing that's going to stop you from achieving what you want, is believing that you can't do it. If you believe you can't do it, then guess what? It cannot be done. If you believe that you cannot do it, whatever your it is. Yes, I'm Alison from Align with Alison. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I'm talking about life, y'all. If you believe that you cannot achieve your ex, whatever, right? Whatever your thing is, then by default, you can't achieve it because you believe that you can't. So once you believe it, you can't do it. If LeBron feels like he can't dunk, he's never going to try to dunk, which means he can't dunk. Not because he doesn't physically have the ability to make the jump or, forgive me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that he, like his knees, his legs, his tendons, he has the ability to do the job. But if he believes that he cannot do the job, he won't be able to do it. That is simply what it boils down to in the easiest way possible. So the first step in manifesting what you want, the first thing is having a clear vision as to exactly what you want. If you don't have a clear vision as to what you want, you won't be able to achieve it. What I tell my coaching clients when I work with them and they tell me that they want a husband and I say, what does he look like? How does he behave? What's his patterns? What's his gosh, I'm losing it now because I'm talking about life and I'm losing my relationship stuff. What are his values, right? Tell me about his personality. Oh, I don't know. You got to be handsome and you got to love me. You got to have a job. I need to know more. Tell me his morals. Tell me his values. If you don't have a clear vision as to what you're looking for, how can you find it? I give the same corny example every single time to my clients and they say, yeah, you're right. If I'm looking for a pair of headphones, I don't know that the headphones are white. I don't know that they stick in my ears. I don't know that they come in a little case I can charge on their own. How am I ever going to be able to find it? I'm going to be looking at Bose headphones. I'm going to be looking at Beats headphones. I'm going to be looking at the black headphones that wrap around your ear. I'm never going to be able to find what I'm looking for if I don't have a vision. So you're complaining about the fact that you are not achieving what you want in your life. However, you don't even have a clear vision as to what you want. It can be a vision board. It can be Post-its. It can be the notepad in your cell phone. It can be a journal, but you cannot find or build what you are looking for until there is a clear vision. You say you want financial stability, but you have no budget. You have no business plan. You have no way that you can invest that money, flip that money in order to find that stability. And then you're surprised that you don't have the stability. You're jealous of others who do have the stability, and you say, oh, it's luck. No, it's lack of effort on your part. How are you going to be able to achieve your goals if you do not have a clear vision in your mind for exactly what you're looking for? So step one in manifesting is having a clear vision. I highly recommend to write it down. Again, if you're not artsy or you don't like the vision board, fine. You don't have to do a vision board, notepads, whatever. I don't care what it is. Write it down and get a clear vision as to what you want, and be sure that you want it. We say that we want a lot of things, but we don't actually want it. I remember when I was a kid, and this stuck with me. I wish my sister was on the live. My sister Sophia. I told my sister one time, yo, Sophia, I'm starving. Can you make me a sandwich? She said, your legs broke? And I knew, right? That means no. She's not making me no sandwich. I said, no, my legs are fine, right? My legs are fine. She said, well, if you were really starving, you would get up and you make a sandwich yourself. If you are really starving, you will get up and you will make the sandwich yourself. And she was a genius at 13 years old. An absolute genius. Whatever you want, if you really wanted it, you would get up and you would get it. And of course, please don't come in. It's like, oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those who are, if you are capable, you have the brain cells, you have the physical capabilities. If you have the ability, you can get up and you can get it yourself. Sometimes we say we want things, we want to lose those 10 pounds, but we want the burgers and the fries and the cake more. That's me. I is me. I'm talking about me. I say I want abs and I will not do a crunch. Not one. Mad sugary drinks. I'm on vacation, but I say I want abs. I don't really want it because I'm not willing to do what it takes in order to sacrifice to get what I say that I want. So you need clarity on what you say that you want, and you need to be sure that you want what you say that you want. Do you really want it? Or are you saying it because it sounds cute? It sounds nice to say that I want a flat stomach because that's what society says that I should want, but yet I'm not willing to put in the work in order to get it, right? So we have to have a clear vision as to what we want, and we have to be sure it's what we actually want, because if we don't actually want it, then we're not going to do what it takes in order to sacrifice in order to get it. So that's step one of the manifestation. Are y'all with me? Okay. Step two. We're moving on to two. You need to get the things that are in your way out of your way, which includes you too. You need to get the things that are in your way out of your way, including you too. Someone early in the live said that she's afraid of failure, right? That means she is in her own way. It's not that she's not capable, right? I know her personally. I know that she's more than capable, but the fear of failure and the fear of the judgment of others is what's going to stifle your ability to achieve what you want. If you are overweight and you're afraid that folks at the gym are going to look at you sideways, so now you don't want to go to the gym, but you know if you stay home and you're not going to work out either, you have stifled yourself. It wasn't the folks at the gym giving you the side eye. It was you, because you were afraid of their judgment. You were afraid that if you told the world, I'm losing 30 pounds this year, and you don't, you're going to look stupid. You're going to look like a loser and a failure. Versus saying what you want out loud. This whole thing like, oh, keep your goals quiet. Nobody's plotting against you. I love y'all, but nobody cares about you that much. Nobody's plotting against you. They have their own problems. They're working out their own issues, okay? If they're doing obia against you, then if obia survives and it hits, then it hits, right? You need to speak with your mouth what you want. Speak with your mouth what you want. And let me tell you one of the benefits of doing that. The number one benefit of speaking it out loud is that it's going to force you to be accountable, because now you know if you fall back and you fall out of line, you're going to be embarrassed. So it is in my best interest to push forward. Because if I don't push forward, guess what? All my friends that I told, yeah, girl, I'm losing 20 pounds, and which I'm not, but example, I'm losing 20 pounds this year. Because don't go hold me accountable when y'all see me eating cake. I'm just giving examples. So, yeah, girl, I'm losing it. That's it. I'm going to the gym 3 times a week. Guess what? My girlfriends, because that's the kind of friends I have, the way that I've set up my life, the way that I've set up my circle, are going to hold me accountable. They're going to say, Alison, you said you was going to the gym 3 times a week. It's been a whole week. I talk to you every day. You ain't go to the gym. What's up? Alison, you say that you working out, you going to lose all this weight. You eating cake and candy and cookies like you always do. What's up? Yes. Instead of you looking at it as I am afraid to fail, that's why I'm not going to say anything out loud. Say instead, because I'm afraid to fail, I'm going to say it out loud so that the circle that I have chosen will hold me accountable. I'm going to tell them, hold me accountable. When I am saving money and you guys are going out and about and y'all playing mass in 2022, tell me, Alison, you can't go. I love you and I love the time that we have together, but I know you have this aspiration and this goal to buy your second house, to buy a nicer car, whatever it is. And so you're not going with us because I'm here to help and support you. So the first thing is having a clear vision as to what you want and making sure that you actually want it. And then the second step is going to be choosing to get out of your own way, right? Choosing to get other things out of your way. And if that's toxic or problematic people, then you need to do that too. If those people are speaking negativity into your life, Alison, you're never going to be able to buy that second house. What you talking about? Look at the lifestyle you lead and you on vacation. You in Jamaica during a pandemic. How you going to, right? Those kind of negativity, you know, they're kind of true in that example, but you get my point. That kind of negativity you don't need. I have never had a friend who stabbed me in the back. I've never had a friend who slept with my man or these kind of ridiculous stories that I hear, because I have been very particular about the amazing circles of women that I have chosen to surround myself with. Not only one circle, college friends, middle school friends, work friends. I don't have that problem because I am selective on who I allow in my life. And if you are not about the same business that I am on, then unfortunately we cannot be friends. So you have to be mindful not only of you getting in your own way, but allowing others to get into your way, to speak negativity on you and in your life. What you put in is what you get out. Jay-Z